Hi, thanks for watching Pro Football Today. I'm your host, Zach Simmons. Today we're going to be talking about Week 4 of the 2019 NFL season. So before we really start talking about these teams, about who's looking good right now, who's not looking so good, we're going to address a little bit of the drama going around right now. The big news is, of course, Vontaze Burfict being suspended for the season. So what exactly is going on here? To be honest, good suspension. It's a pretty blatant hit. This is a guy known as the dirtiest player in the NFL. To be honest, if he was in the 50s, sure, he can play. But that's not how we play football anymore. It's a tough sport. People get hurt, but you don't see anyone trying to make sure people get hurt. That has no place in the NFL nowadays. So good suspension, good call. And the reason that you could be thinking, well, that seems kind of severe for an on-field issue. This is actually the most severe penalty so far in NFL history for an on-game situation, being banned for the entire season. But this isn't his first time. We know that he has this kind of reputation. He's been suspended before, a couple other times. One on Antonio Brown, that injured Antonio Brown. Another one on Anthony Sherman. So this one, we kind of saw it coming. The writing was on the wall. NFL told him, you can't do this anymore. You will get suspended for the season. And that's what happened. So it was a good suspension. Good job by the NFL showing that they have no tolerance over this kind of attitude, which is good for the NFL. But it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens. He is appealing the suspension. Derek Brooks will be hearing his appeal, but I don't see anything happening. Derek Brooks was the same guy who heard his appeal for Antonio Brown. Obviously, Brooks upheld it, so I'm not really expecting anything else to come about here. He'll be gone for the season, and to be honest, if this happens again next year, expect a lifetime ban. This has happened so many times with him. It's not like he's had. We know of a few guys that have had some hits over the years. Especially James Harrison was one of the biggest ones. Brandon Merriweather was another one. But the reason why Burfict is targeted right now is just because he does this more than anyone else. This isn't just his third time overall doing this. He has done this throughout his career. So the kind of make a statement right now is saying we don't do this anymore. We've changed our identity as a league. We don't try to hurt people. This is a tough sport. We're keeping this a tough sport, but we need to protect our players. Good job by the NFL. Because not only can Burfict end up hurting someone, he can actually end up costing someone's life, essentially, if it's any brain injury that leads to death or any paralysis, like we're seeing right now with Ryan Shazier. But not only can he hurt someone else, he can end up hurting himself. He needs to just shape up for his own safety, let alone every single player who plays in the NFL, their safety. So that's the big drama going right now, Burfict. No one's really expecting him to come back this season. It'll be interesting to see exactly will the Raiders even keep him on the team for 2020. And also whether the team would even pick him up. But other drama is going around with Minnesota Vikings. Now the Bears, they beat them 16-6. It wasn't so much that they beat them with all their backups, with an injured defensive line, and with Mitch Trubisky out, Chase Daniel in. It's not so much that. They completely stopped them. Dalvin Cook was a no-show. But you've seen Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs a little upset with the game call, and I can't blame them. The play calling has been terrible. It's just been run, and I admit Dalvin Cook, he's a beast. Best running back in the league. And that's not just by numbers. That's just how he plays. He's better than anyone else. Better than Gurley. Better than Gordon. Better than Barkley. He's the best guy in the NFL. No doubt about it. But when you have guys like Thielen and Diggs, you got to connect. And it's not so much... Cousins needs to throw to them first of all, but he can't connect to them at all. He can't throw deep to them at all. I don't know how many times the Cousins overthrew an open receiver. Adam Thielen had Kyle Fuller beat by a large margin. Could have put the Vikings back in the game. Instead, Cousins throws about 5 to 10 yards overthrown. Cousins is not the quarterback they have paid him to be. So I would expect a little bit of a change at the quarterback position in Minnesota, probably next season or the next couple seasons. But this is not who the Minnesota Vikings were even just last year. This is a team that they'll pass at you. Kirk Cousins is going to attack. He'll give it to Diggs. He'll give it over to Thielen. But now it's become more of a run style offense. But the problem is this is an old style offense. A lot of people were getting on the Bears a couple years back in 2017 for being strictly a run team. They didn't try to get Mitch Trubisky involved in anything. That's what we're seeing from the Vikings. And to be honest, Kirk Cousins, yes, he needs to get stuff going, but he's not a bad quarterback. There's a lot worse than Kirk Cousins out there. So they need to trust in their franchise quarterback. I mean, obviously, if you're getting paid that much money, you are their franchise quarterback. They need to put the ball in his hands and trust him that he can get stuff done. Now, this last week, yes, it didn't work out. But at the same time, can you really blame Cousins so much when the play call all year has been so conservative? I don't know. I mean, if you're a true franchise quarterback, then yeah, you should be able to get stuff going. But no. So now you have Diggs and Thielen being really upset that they're not getting the ball as much, and I don't blame them. They've won before, not from Dalvin Cook. In fact, Cook's been a non-factor. They were winning games because of Thielen and Diggs. Didn't matter what quarterback they had. They were winning with Case Keenum. They were winning last year with Kirk Cousins, and now they're trying to win everything with Dalvin Cook. Cook's a good running back, but you just can't play that way in the NFL anymore. Even last year, how well Gurley played, how well Gordon played. They didn't rely solely on the run game. You had Goff, who was really good last year. Rivers was really good last year. Barkley was excellent last season. Manning was subpar. But still, they still put Manning in the game. You can't win games when you're playing strictly the run game. You just can't win games. And Minnesota is seeing that right now. That when you go against teams that actually have a good defense, so look at Green Bay, look at Chicago, you can't win games that way. So that's where the Bears in 2017, that's where they didn't work so well. Defense was on the rise. However, even with Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen, two really good backs at that point, they couldn't get anything going because they weren't spreading the ball out. They need to pass the ball. That's the league we live in. You need to pass the ball. So I can't blame Diggs and Thielen right now for winning the ball. I mean, that's essentially what they're asking for. Give us the ball. Put the ball in Kirk Cousins' hands. Give us the ball. And that's the reason they're 3-2. They have enough talent to be 5-0, but terrible play call and a terrible game plan. Now, taking a look at the NFL, we have 3 undefeated teams. 5 undefeated teams fell off this last week. Now we just have the Chiefs, the Patriots, and the Niners. Now, I'm expecting all 3 teams to win this week, but what will those teams say they're on the top? And when it comes to the Chiefs and Patriots, yes, they can stay up there on the top. Patrick Mahomes is still an elite quarterback, still a fantastic quarterback, still the best quarterback in the league right now. And the Patriots, their offense is a little speckled. I mean, it's not as good as it was last year, mainly because of all the loss they have at receiver. Edelman's been kind of hurt the last couple of weeks. Gordon just hasn't looked good. And Dorsett, well, I mean, he's Philip Dorsett. What can you expect? And they don't have Gronkowski anymore to help out. They don't really have that tight end factor at all. But you've seen a lot more James White, a lot more Sony Michel, which was expected. But this defense, holy cow, best defense in the league. I'm a Bears fan. I love the Bears defense. But I have to admit, Patriots have a better defense. They can stuff you up. Kyle Van Noy is doing fantastic. Jamie Constant's getting in there. But then they have guys like Devin McCourty that when you pressure, when you make the quarterback make a bad decision, you have McCourty there to catch the ball, get a good interception, get a good return. This is one heck of a defense. Watch out for the Patriots defense. We haven't been able to say, we've never said they've had elite defense ever since the Rodney Harrison, Willie McGinnis era back in the early 2000s. But now, oh, they got it back. Watch out for this 2019 New England defense. This is a defense that can stay solid for the next few years. So they're elite in the early 2000s. Watch them be elite in the early 2020s. But the one team that I think has a good amount of downside is the San Francisco 49ers. I love them 3-0. Their defense is good. They're up and coming. As I said before, they're going to be one of the surprise teams this year, but I just don't trust Garoppolo too much to keep that up. Garoppolo can be a really good quarterback. He was supposed to be a really good quarterback after he had a few stints with the Patriots. But he's wildly inconsistent. He can be a really good quarterback, but then he can be a really bad quarterback. But this defense, Richard Sherman, back in his element. You can tell that he's fully healed from his injuries from a couple years back. He's just fine, and he's as good as ever. So watch out for this San Francisco defense, but it's because of the offense I'm going to say, yeah, they're going to drop off, and I'm not even sure they're going to win the division. The Rams I don't think are strong enough to win this division. They've really dropped off. I'm not sure exactly what that's all about. I think it's probably because of Gurley. Gurley's not playing as much, not giving him the ball as much. And Goff he doesn't seem to have what he had last season. So I'm not sure, but Seattle, I think Seattle's the team to beat there in the NFC West. Watch out the Seattle Seahawks. I think they can take out the Niners. If any offense in this division can take out the Niners, it's going to be Seattle. Russell Wilson, you can never underestimate the guy. That and his line's been holding up. They look good. They look really good. Who cares if Doug Baldwin's gone? They got DK Metcalf. He's looking okay. But Tyler Lockett is looking amazing. This can be a really, really good team with Seattle. I expect them to win division this year as the Rams have kind of dropped off. I'm expecting the San Francisco 49ers to drop off a little bit. But then taking a look at these winless teams. What teams have the most upside? I like the Arizona Cardinals. I like Kyler Murray. They just need a block. Patrick Peterson will be coming back here in a few weeks. But I do like the Cardinals. I think they have a good amount of upside. Washington and Cincinnati, I expect them to kind of stay down. I think Haskins kind of showed this last week. He's not ready. I think they need to bench him. Either play Keenum or McCoy. Now, here's an unpopular opinion. I think Keenum's playing great. Yes, he's thrown a good amount of picks in the last 2 games. Don't look at that. 2 of those picks, or I guess 3 of those picks, were against the Chicago Bears. One of the best defenses in the league. One of the best defenses in the decade. This last game, though, I mean, the pick that he threw against the Giants wasn't the best throw, but at the same time, it wasn't terrible. I think I blame the receiver more than I blame Case Keenum. But Haskins he didn't have it. I think Haskins can be a franchise quarterback, but he's just not ready yet. Don't throw him out there, especially against New England. Play Keenum. I would even say just bench Colt McCoy. Make Colt McCoy the backup. Play Keenum. Keenum's playing fine. Just because he's throwing a few picks in the last couple weeks does not mean it's all his fault. I don't even think they should have benched him this last week. So keep Keenum in there. He's doing fine. He had 1 bad game against Chicago. I can't even count New York. They didn't give him a chance against New York. I'm pretty sure they're just waiting for him to make 1 mistake and then put in Dwayne Haskins. But play Keenum. He's fine. He's had 2 good games. Should have beat Philly. Should have beat Dallas. That's not necessarily on him. It's more on the defense than it is on him. The defense let Carson Wentz and let Dak Prescott work in the second half. But he's looked good. Let him play against New England. Don't throw your young quarterback out there. Don't even throw Colt McCoy, who's coming off of a broken leg. Don't throw him out there. Play Keenum. But this week it's going to be really interesting to watch. I'm really looking forward to seeing this Bears-Raiders game in London. Khalil Mack going against his former team. It actually should be a really good game, one of the best games of the week. But the main game I'm really looking forward to is this Rams-Seattle game tonight, on Thursday night. Like what I said, I think Seattle has a good shot. If anyone can take out the Rams, it's going to be Seattle. If anyone can take out the Niners, it's going to be Seattle. Watch Seattle tonight. I bet Seattle's going to have a really good game. I'm not sure what to expect from Chris Carson. He's been a little iffy. But with Rashad Penny, I think they have a good back in him. There's a reason he was the first back selected a year ago. I like Sony Michel a little bit better, like Nick Chubb better. But Penny is still a good running back. I think he has a lot of upside. Watch the Seattle Seahawks. I think they can take out the Rams. I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue. Especially looking at how Tampa played against them. Which, speaking of Tampa, let's go on to Tampa here just for a second before we head out. Tampa, holy cow, they've looked good. Barrett, really, really good defense player of the year so far. Godwin has played phenomenal. Mike Evans is looking like he used to back 5 years ago. He's looking great. And Jameis Winston, yeah, he deserves another shot there in Tampa. He's looking great. Don't draft anyone else. Keep Jameis in there. He's winning games. And the thing is, he's playing well at the same time. I've seen so many guys who can win games, but they can't play well. Or they can play well and they can't win games. Jameis is doing both of them this year. Bruce Arians was the answer. Keep Jameis Winston in there. Things will work out just fine. In fact, they might have a good shot. Maybe not division. Definitely Drew Brees comes back. But wild card, definite possibility. Definitely looking at how the Rams have been playing. Yeah, they might be able to beat the Rams out there for a wild card spot. So that's what I have this week. Tune in next week as we'll be looking through week 5. We'll see if there's any more surprises for us this week. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day.